All right, man. Here we go. Welcome to Travels with Carl, episode number 1. And I tell you, Carl lives in a gated community. I'm not kidding. There's the gate. And there's the community. And this is Carl, you know. He's a 1991 Alumilite motorhome, 31 feet of recreational bliss. He's got a Chevy 454 engine, dual tires on the back, power steering. He's just a lovely motorhome. And Travels with Carl is a YouTube channel about me and Carl. And Carl's name is emblazoned on the top. I don't really feel like climbing up that ladder right now, but I will eventually, just to show you. His name is emblazoned on the top. I didn't name Carl. Carl already had a name when I got him, which, you know, isn't surprising. He's born in 1991. So, haberdasher, excuse me. Carl, like I was telling you, Carl is he's a beast. He's just handles like a freaking Cadillac, but he is a beast. And right here we got Minnie Driver. She's a very wonderful BMW Mini Cooper, and she's real expensive. Like every time I turn around, she needs another $1,000. Hey, give me $1,000. Hey, give me $1,000. You know, like money grows on trees. You know what I mean? Well, I guess if they're cherries, I guess you could say that they do, and I'll explain that later. Right now, I'm getting some props and stuff that I need for this first video. I'm gonna open up the unlock Carl's door, and you know, forgive me for the jumpy camera. And this is, like I said, this is the first episode, and people have been on me like white on rice to get this done. There's another piece of BMW right there. Yeah, that thing hasn't even started to cost me yet, but it will. It's a BMW. All right, hold on a second. Back. Sorry about that. All right, we're inside Carl now, and like I said, this is a YouTube channel about me and about Carl. But I guess what I really have to say it's like a memoir of my life. And I'm an artist. I should have said that right up front. I'm a lifelong dyed-in-the-wool artist, trying to figure out what to look at here. Oh yeah, I think I got it now. And anyway, because I never made it into the NFL or the major leagues, or however you would say it, I made it into AAA, I guess I would say, as an artist. But, you know, because I'm a stand-up guy, I had to have a real job, you know, to get through life. I'm 67 years old right now, and I started working when I was 12, so you can do the math. That's a lot of years, you know. That's 55 years right there. Am I right? Yes, I am. 55 years of working. All these hands I've ever known as work, as my grandfather would say, and he'd hold his hands out. Well, that's not exactly true in my case. My grandfather was a much harder worker than I'll ever be, but he taught me how to grow food. Speaking of that, there's a golden plum, which definitely fell out of the tree and split open. I'm going to eat that right now. But I grew that, you know. I got a tree that does all the hard work, but I had to pick it and water it and harvest it, as they say. And in a few years, I'm fixing to be a gentleman farmer and have a cherry farm in Portugal. And believe me, this chance is going to be Kuiper Ranch is the name of my farm. I don't own it yet, but I've already been laying some serious plans on this bad boy. And one of the things that I have to say right up front is this is going to discuss 52 jobs that I've had in my life. Okay. I'm planning on doing one episode a week for the year, and then that will do the 52 jobs. Every job has a short story that goes with it, because besides being a fine artist, I'm also a writer, and I also noodle around with music. I play a bass, 6-string guitar, and piano. None of them very well at all. Okay, none of them. But I love music, I love fine art, I love writing, and travel. Okay, I can't forget travel, because that plays a big part of this. I've visited 47 of the 50 states so far. I have Alaska and North and South Dakota left. I'm going to do Alaska on a cruise, and North and South Dakota I'm going to do on a motorcycle, so I can fold Sturgis into that. Not that it's really something that I care that much about, Sturgis, but I have to go and I have to see it, and I figure that's the best way to, entice myself to go to North and South Dakota, aside from Glacier National Park, which I really want to see while we still have a couple glaciers. But every one of these jobs played a part in my life. And, anybody that's an artist, a musician or writer, unless you made it to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm talking about. You got to work a lot of stupid jobs. Some of them are great jobs, like the job I have right now. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a great job, okay? I love it. It's the best job I've ever had. It's the most money I've ever had or made. But anyway, here you go. This is a painting about T R Deli, and that was the first job I worked at. It was an Italian delicatessen right down the alley, right down the street from my house. Two immigrants from Italy. I love immigrants. Speaking of that, they should just all be allowed to stay and have families and contribute to America just like the rest of us immigrants did. Anyway, they were right off the boat. And Tommy sat behind the cash register. He was a really big dude. And he smoked a cigar right in the store, and he drank coffee all day. And Rosie was back there making hoagies. Now, if you're not from the East Coast, a hoagie is like a giant submarine sandwich on an Italian mafia-produced bread roll, and it's lathered with olive oil and vinegar, if you like that, or mayonnaise, or both, salt and pepper, oregano, lettuce, tomato, onions, and these are all organic. I mean, this stuff is all cut right in front of you. And she'd put her thumb over the olive oil bottle and just pour that stuff right on there. And then, you get your prosciutto or your cheeses and meats, roast beef, whatever you want. They had it, and they would put it on that hoagie. Salt and pepper, wrap it up in some newsprint paper, and just send you on your way. And you had like a giant meal there. I mean, it's one of those things that's really hard to eat the whole thing, even for an adult. Anyway, here's that painting, okay? It's a watercolor, and like I said, this is just kind of a tease because I'm selling these, okay? Because I do try to market my artwork, even though I'm not really good at it. So every story is going to have a print, and I'm going to do a limited edition print of those beautiful watercolors, or they're probably all going to be watercolors. And I got some of them done, some of them are not done. And so each one of those prints and each one of those short stories at the end of the year is going to be combined into a book. And that book is going to be called 52. 52 is one of those recurring numbers, like there's 52 weeks in a year, there's 52 cards in a deck. And there's 52 stories in this book and 52 jobs in my life. Actually, there were more than 52. I picked the best 52, okay, the ones with the best story. Some of them were repeats, like I worked for Amazon several times. Love Amazon. Any Amazon haters out there, don't even put it in my feed, okay? I'm telling you, I'll just block you. That's what I'll do. I love Amazon, okay? I'm not saying they're perfect, but I was around when they invented Amazon, okay? And I just have a thing about it. I love entrepreneurs. I love what Bezos did. And I love what he's doing now. It's crazy. So crazy, I can't even go into it. But anyway, I digress. Hold on just one second. There we go. I had to get something to drink and hook up my my tripod because these pretzels are making me thirsty. So, like I was saying, I think if you're an artist, a musician, a traveler, painter, comedian, you write your own script, a filmmaker, Quentin Tarantino. I'm wearing my Pulp Fiction shirt today for the first episode. That's my main man right there. Just getting ready to quote a Bible verse and then smoke somebody. Jules in Pulp Fiction, baby. My main man. He's just wandering the earth right now, like me. So I think, this has been coming for a long time. I got people out there, they just like, bro, if you don't produce this thing pretty soon, they're kind of threatening me, and it's okay. I'm from the hood, man. I lived in Oakland. I don't think I have to say anything else. I grew up in Philly. I lived in Oakland. I'm a veteran, but living in Oakland was much more dangerous than being in the Army. Whew! Baby, I gotta tell you, I had turned into someone in between, the film Taxi Driver. Are you looking at me? I don't see anybody else here. And Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry. This is a Colt 44 Magnum. It's the largest handgun made. It'll blow your head clean off. I felt like I had turned into somebody in between those two guys. I was carrying a gun, it wasn't a pretty picture. I just lost my brother to suicide. I was pretty fucked up in the brain, you know what I mean? I wasn't taking shit from anybody. Now, I may be revealing too much about myself, but I really don't think I can because this is autobiographical. Let's get the tough stuff out of the way first, okay? I was 12 when I worked in a deli. That was my first job. I made 35 cents an hour, which was fine with me, I had folding money at the end of the week, man. I was making it real money. And anyway, if you're one of those people that I mentioned earlier, writer, painter, musician, photographer, filmmaker, funny guy, funny girl, maybe you have a YouTube channel like Traveling with Kristen, or whose name of her YouTube channel inspired me. And there's Joseph and Mariana, Farmers for Fun, who inspired me to buy a cherry farm in Portugal. I'll list all these people once I get rolling. I need somebody, by the way, if you're out there and you're good at YouTube and you can help me edit and do all the links and stuff like that, I'll pay good euros or cash money, American dollars, whichever you want. Anyway, if you're one of those people, I think this channel might be appealing to you and it might be fun. And then I can make some money. You can have fun. You can buy my prints, which will be available every week. I mean, I don't have the way to monetize that print today, but you can also just go to my website, which is www.vangogh, Pretty clever, huh? VANGOGH, and yes, that is my last name now. .inc, because I'm a printmaker, get it? INK, like Van Gogh the company, Van Gogh Incorporated, only it's not INC, it's INK. Brilliant. You know, every once in a while I'll come up with one that's just, okay, that's a good idea. And yeah, I changed my name 1983. I thought it was a good thing to do. I figure I've already outlived them and outsold them. I thought it would help me get famous faster, but I'm not sure that it had anything to do with me not getting famous. I don't think that it did. It still is a really cool, really unusual thing. I don't know anybody that just decided that they would take the name of the most famous artist in the world. Because Van Gogh, I mean, arguably, I'm going to go out on the limb here, because I do have a master's degree in fine art in printmaking and a bachelor's degree in film and video from California College of Arts and Crafts, baby, in Oakland, my alma mater. Shout out. And also I did my freshman year at Philadelphia College of Art in Philly, city of brotherly love, not. And there, I was just a freshman, I only did 1 year, but my teacher there, Pete Rose, no relation to the baseball player, he suggested that if I was going to get into film and video, I might go to California College of Arts and Crafts, because they actually had video. And I said, Pete, what's video? He goes, television, TV. All we had was a black and white, half-inch black and white reel-to-reel with a piece of shit camera and, you know, a little toy microphone. And California College of Arts and Crafts had a 3/4-inch dinosaur tape. They didn't call it dinosaur tape then because it was almost broadcast quality. Our 3/4-inch video editing machine cost $250,000. The whole school only had one of them, so you had to sign up for it by the hour to edit your shit. Not kidding. I'm shooting this whole thing with a DJI camera, and they're not sponsoring me yet, he said. And my Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I just got, and no, they're not sponsoring me yet, he said pointedly. But it's a killer camera. It's better than what I had to work with in my bachelor's degree. But I graduated in 1983, and I traveled a lot then. Like I said, I've been to 47 states. I went to Hawaii to drink like Jimmy Buffett. Did that real well for a while. Enlisted in the Army, which is one of my jobs. Came back to Hawaii. Got married. Moved to Oakland again, then Massachusetts. My wife at the time was getting her PhD from Harvard, so that was quite the experience. I got to tag along. I got to be a hang-around at Harvard. And then we divorced. I went back to Hawaii, and there's much more to all of these stories, and don't worry, I'll fill you in, or you can just reach out to me, and if there's something that you really want to know, and I missed it, or I went over it too fast, and you're curious. And then back to Hawaii, and bam, that's when it happened. I had an epiphany, and I got sober. And then the September 11th happened, and I moved to Key West because, well, I didn't move directly to Key West, but I thought, well, Florida's the only place where I can get away with wearing my current wardrobe. And I kind of love living on an island. There was nothing happening in Hawaii, man. It was deserted. And yeah, so there we are. I'll fill you in with more about all these things, but I just kind of wanted to give you a quick, like, hey, this is who I am, this is why I'm doing this, and introduce you to Carl, because Travels with Carl is probably always, most of the time, going to be shot inside Carl. Carl's going to be like my studio. I'm going to blue screen the windows and pretend to be driving, and sometimes I actually will be driving, and hey, you might not know whether I'm really driving or not. I'm going to take this bad boy over to Olympic National Park. I should mention that I'm in the great state of Washington, okay? The evergreen state. I just bought my first home ever in my life at 67 in Linwood, and it's a double wide trailer. It's badass, and it's got a really killer backyard. Of course, I'll show you that. And that's where the plum tree, that's where the golden plum tree is, along with a lot of other trees, a few cherry trees, just to keep my juices flowing, just to keep my engine running. You know what I'm saying? Because keep my eye on the prize, because as soon as I finish my current job in a few years, I'm headed, split my time between here and Portugal. Spend 6 months in Portugal, you got it, fall and winter, and then spend my spring and summer back here in Washington when it's actually livable. It's a beautiful state, but man, does it get wet. Got a bit of a rainy season. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I don't want to talk too long. I think I'm going to try and keep these at like 25-30 minutes. I think that's the primo time that you're supposed to do a YouTube, right? Because this whole point of this thing is to make me some money, another stream of income, and to entertain you, and to promote my book, to promote my prints, to promote my lifestyle, and to promote my website. Again, that's www.vangogh.ink. You can go and buy stuff right there right now on my first episode. Now, will these prints be listed up there? Yes. Those will not be the limited edition, however. The limited edition I'm going to print myself at my home, and they're going to be signed and numbered. They're going to be the expensive ones, as you would say. But in the meantime, you can go there and buy some other cool stuff that I have on there. And yeah, I just got to do a shout out, like I said, to a couple of my YouTube friends, Kristen Wilson, Joseph, and Mariana Marsh. And, well, there's a lot of people on YouTube. And at work, you know, my friend Tyler, he's been pushing me hard to get this thing out there. And Mike and Gary and my friends, Jeb. Jeb wrote the theme song for this show. Excuse me. I'm drinking a Simple Truth Raspberry Yazoo. And they're not sponsoring me yet either. Excuse me, but it is making me impolitely belch a little bit. But it's good stuff, man. I love it. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching Travels with Carl, episode 1. Now let's ride.